All right, let's do this thing, boys. First off, if you haven't seen those videos that I sent, I can attach in the links below. If you don't have them, but I sent them, so it doesn't matter. Watch those videos. This is going to kind of be a basic way. Another way, it's going to be similar, a basic way of how I teach this. So, let's first off start by this. TradingView. This is the app that we need. This is going to tell us all our basic, our charting, everything we need to know about what's going on, how we're going to make our decisions, how we're going to make our plays. So we're trading futures. This is what it's going to look like when you open it up. Sorry. Create an account. It's simple. If you just create an account, you just have all your data, everything you marked up, your charts and whatnot, so you don't lose that stuff. Go in here, looking for futures. Most likely you'll be on all. Just click futures. I trade the NQ. I trade three things: NQ, gold, and platinum. Now, why do I trade NQ, gold, and platinum? NQ, it can make you a lot of money, but also it's not too expensive to the point where it's going to lose you a lot of money. It's also like a very notable big name. It's the NASDAQ, so that's just kind of why I picked it. Same thing with kind of gold. Big name, can make you a lot of money, can also lose you a lot of money. Gold seems to be more volatile. Volatile just means like it's moving a lot more up and down like craziness. I try to stay away from that when possible, but sometimes setups are good, so you kind of have to take it. And platinum. The reason I do platinum is because it only costs, we'll kind of get into this later, platinum is a little cheaper to do your own account opposed to a prop firm. We'll kind of get into the prop firm stuff later. My dad told me about kind of how the platinum is, you're able to buy it easier, get into it easier with less capital. We'll talk about that in the future. Right now, we just need to understand the strategy, the charts, and all that good stuff. So, here we go. We'll start launch chart. We're going to work on NASDAQ. That's what I suggest you guys doing. Let's just look at NASDAQ. So, we see the charts here. If you don't understand TradingView, that's okay. It's not the simplest thing. It's also not hard once you understand. There's a million YouTube videos out there. If you need help with something, either ask or just look it up. There's so many different customization options you can do with all these charts. Just make sure that your chart looks like this. It will look like that. If you want to change the colors of your chart, you can do that. I don't remember how, but you can look it up. So like I said, there's a million different things. Not our main focus right now, but just saying this, the things you can do. Now, you see all of these little bars, green representing going up, red represents going down. So what does each actual bar mean is a time frame. I'm in the 5-minute chart right now. So if you look, you can see it towards the bottom of my screen. It says Thursday, 16 October 2025. Well, it says 25, but implying 2025, 9 p.m. This one, same thing, 9:05. This one, 10 o'clock, or 9:10, excuse me. So each one is representing the time for the bar. Pretty simple. Now, if I go to the hour chart, same thing, except for each bar now is 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So, kind of like that. I trade in the 5-minute. The strategy seems to work in all of them, but I found most successful in the 5-minute. So, for your sake, let's learn the 5-minute. So, what is my strategy? It's called supply and demand. Basically, we're going to draw these boxes when we see a big push up or a big crash down. We want to draw up right either above where it happened or right below where it happened. This will make more sense when I draw it out. But basically, we want to go on the opposite side of where the big move happened. We want that big move to happen. Let's just say it's going up. Now, after that big move happens, we want it to come back down into our box. And then as it exits that box that we created, going back in the original direction that it was going, that's when you kind of get in, and that's when it kind of goes up, and you try to make your money. So, pretty simple. It's going to be complicated at first. It's not going to be very straightforward. It might be a little bit, but this took me about a year for this exact strategy. I was at my old school at App last year doing this stuff in the fall, and I was not doing great at it. So obviously I'm able to help you guys. I didn't have, the direct contact, I guess. So maybe it made it a little trickier. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, don't expect to go in and make money right away. I had a good week. That's why I think I can help you guys. But realistically, this is my first good week. trading out of prop firms, I've made about $1,300. Now, that's not real money. That is all money towards passing a challenge. So, in reality, yes, I did make $1,300, but none of that money is going into my pocket. So, take that with what you will. So, here's the strategy. If we see right here, boom, perfect example. Big red push down. So, when we're looking for our big pushes, we're looking for big red, not big reds, but big red or big green pushes, big bars and solid bars. So, you can see here, big solid bar. If we go over and look right here, this is a big, pretty solid push up for green. But look, not very solid bars. We have more of a long bar. Yeah, could it be an okay play? Yes, it can. But for this sake, we're looking for A plus setups. A plus setup just means everything's kind of going your way. So, we see that. We're going to try to stay away from this thing. But this, boom, we love that. Big push down, pushing hard red, boom. So, what are we going to do here? 1 second, let me get rid of all of this for you guys. Alright, so we see the big red push down. Like I mentioned earlier, boom, we found the big red push. Now, we look for, before that push, we look for the opposite color. So the opposite color is obviously green because it went up. We find that bar. There's a couple different things or criteria that this thing needs to meet. One, it cannot be bigger than this bar. It just can't. That's just one of my rules. It just can't. Number two, it needs to, now, this is where it kind of gets a little 50-50. I've made money doing this and made money not doing it. Typically, I like this bar to be just a little bit longer than the bar next to it. If it's going down, I want the green to be a little higher. But if it was going up, I want this red. So if you can see right here, this one would be good because it's a little bit lower than the greens. But this one here, it's not quite. But for the sake of this, and obviously in general, it's not the biggest make or break. That's just the difference, I'd say, between I'd say an A plus and then an A plus plus. So when you're looking for it, look for the perfect ones, but obviously the perfect ones aren't going to always come. But you need to have an idea of kind of what is really perfect and then what is, okay, this one's not as good. So anyway, we see it, we identify it. We want to draw a box around the full green one, or the full ones to the left of it, to the next to it. We want to capture that whole green bar. Boom, captured. Now, you're going to want to take this bar and you just want to extend it all the way out. So now, mind you, if we're in an actual trade, or if we're actually in the market here, I'll move my face over on this side real quick. If we're in the actual market right now, this is all we see over here. We see the strong push down. So just imagine, I know it's kind of tough, but it's just a placement of everything. But this is what we see. And it slowly is going to come boom, 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 boom. If that makes sense, excuse me. So, you can see here, it pushes down. Now, what did I say at the beginning when I was trying to teach you guys how it works without showing you, when I was teaching you? You want to push strong one way, go back up into your box, and then when it's leaving your box, that's when you get in, you want it to go down. So here, you can see right here, it kind of got a little choppy, which is good. We never want it to go straight down and straight up. That's a no-no. So, we see it gets a little choppy here, pushes up, okay, now it doesn't really like it. Another good sign. It's choppy, doesn't push directly up, kind of tests back down, or it tests in the opposite direction, kind of going the opposite way. Then boom, right here. It gets up, and it gets in the box. Now let me just do that. Move this stuff out of your guys' way. So boom, it's in our box. So right now, this is what we see. I'll move it over a little bit more. Let's just say this is what we see. Right? It's obviously just kind of general because I don't have the replay, so I can't exactly show you. It gets in my box, and it goes out eventually. Don't know exactly how it works just because of of the timing and everything. But look, it got in and it got out. So when it gets in, that's when you're licking your chops. That's when you're getting ready to go. But you're not. Nothing is happening here, right? But when this thing comes out and crashes down, this is when you want to get into play. As soon as it goes in that box and leaves that box, that's when we're in. Because look at that. So you just took a short position. You sold it. Sold short. You want it to go down. And look how much it went down. All the way down to here. Now, who says that you actually hold it for that long? We'll get into that in a different time, but that is kind of how that works. So if we see here, if we do the math, we'll say it's about 8:36, and this dropped down to about 7. Let's say it's 7. Let's do the math. So that's about a $1,600 move. Realistic? Not really. My biggest win in this strategy so far, and it's a little bit of me just being a little bit of a pussy, is $400 or $240. Not even $400. Now I've missed out on plays. I've gotten into plays, made $100, and got out and was content with making $100, and it kept going. So it's not that I can only make that amount of money. It's just I'm kind of choosing that because I'm just choosing with, okay, that's what I like. I don't want to make any more. Not that I don't want to make any more, but that's what I'm willing to take right now, opposed to it potentially going the opposite direction. So now you kind of understand how it works. Let's see if we can just draw a little bit here. Maybe I can help you guys out just a little bit more. So, actually, I don't want to do this. That's making it a little more difficult. Okay, so we're just going to go back to our original example. Right here. Now, we know when it goes in the box, that's when we're getting ready. Keyword, getting ready. We're never going to get into a play just because it gets into the box. Or even if it's coming close to coming out of the box. Because what can happen is it can push directly through the box. And it can sit at the top, it can sit in the middle, it can sit at the bottom, but as long as it comes out, you get in. But if that bar ever goes outside of your box, you never get in it. I'll show you right here. Just say you like this pushed. This is not ideal because it's not enough bars pushing down. But let's just say it meets the criteria, just for the purpose of the example. Boom, I engulf my box. I make it big so that in the future we'll go in. Boom, look at these. See how they kind of went out? I have 2 rules here. Typically, if it just goes out and it doesn't close outside of it, so if it's these long, skinny ones, meaning that it didn't close outside of there, opposed to like a solid, like this big-ass one, I typically say now it's like a 50-50 chance. It's still a good chance you win. There's still a good chance you lose. So that's why I try to stay out of those. But you can see here, didn't go out, stayed in, and went down. Now you can even see here, it does it again. It's respecting that big push. So see, it goes in, kind of stays in around here, maybe comes out a little bit, maybe goes back in. But ultimately, if you got in here, it went down, kind of came back up a little bit, but if you're just patient and you trust the strategy, boom, it went down. So that's kind of just a basic, quick run through of how it works, kind of how my strategy works. Those videos kind of could have already kind of described everything like that. That's just kind of how I do it. I'll bring you guys through a couple other ones. I'll see if I can find my real ones, any of them that I won. Typically, sometimes I delete them, so I lose them. What's this from? Yeah, I don't have any winners on here. Yeah, I don't know why I don't have any on here, but I promise you I won. Oh, here we go. Look at this. I'm really gonna have to zoom in here. Okay. So if we see right here, this one's gonna be a little tougher. Look at this push down. Look how big this mofo is. Huge pushes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Even though that's only 4, look how big they are. So what did I do? I went over there and I took that green bar. Zoom in. captured this green bar. Boom. This play took a long time. It's not always going to happen like this. And this one wasn't very profitable either. You made money, but it wasn't for the time you waited. It wasn't a lot of money. But that doesn't really matter. That doesn't concern me. If I draw a box and it hits, that's something I'm super interested in. Doesn't matter. So you can see here, it's a good setup. It's a decent setup, right? Because that green one isn't longer than the red one. So it's an okay setup. Not perfect, but it's okay. Crashes down super hard. That's what I like to see right there. And steadily makes its way up. But you're just stalling out, up, down. Stalls out a little bit here. Goes down. Boom. This is a strong push, yes. But since it's steadily coming up, it doesn't matter. It's not like it went all the way down here, and then from right here, it pushes all the way back up. So that's why I like this. You see right here, it gets in. Doesn't go above here. Stays in the box. We get in when it pushes out here. And boom, it pushes down. Pushes down. Pushes down. This is where your peak profit is. Then it starts to climb back up. Like I said, for me, I'm looking to make anywhere from $100 to maybe $300. I'm just trying to scalp, essentially. Trying to get in and out quickly. So, we look at that. If you got out, that's about 02 to about 85. That's 20 points. We'll just say about 20 points. Each dollar here is worth about 20, so that's about $400. If you waited from here to here, like that's $100. Easy money, and it barely moves down, but it moves down. See right here. See this big green push up? But we're staying away from this. Because look at this big red line. I don't want anything to do with that. So if I were to do something like that, look at this. It looks super good. There's two bad things with this. Look how hard it crashes down. But let's just say, fuck it. This is something we took, right? Big green push. It kind of stalls out. It's choppy here. Comes back in my box. I'm like, yes, this is what I want. Comes down, comes out here. So what I say? We don't love that. 50-50 chance. But let's just say, again, fuck it. This is what we want. Comes up, almost. Comes back down. Boom. Comes out of your box. You buy right here. You get it up to right here. You're up about $40-50. You're feeling good. And then it starts to crash. And look how far that thing crashes down. Because you didn't follow the strategy. You just blew your whole account on this one singular trade right here. Because you didn't follow any of the patterns. Any of the strategies. So that's kind of an example of what we're looking for. Here, I see the big green push. Big red bar. Don't like it. Big green push, not big enough push. But you can also see, too, this doesn't completely fit the criteria. But if I was to draw a box here, it was super close to touching. So you could have gotten away with it, right? And made a decent amount of money. But that's the thing. That's like getting lucky. Like, there's going to be trades where you make them, and it's the perfect A++ setup, and it's not going to hit. Like, that's just trading. So the biggest thing right now is what you guys have to understand is how to chart these out, what you're looking for, and just making these things and going back and it's called back testing, going back like I am right now in these former charts and just looking for stuff. And kind of bring back to where we are. Decent red push. I don't think nothing else has come about that. But we'll see. This is another part of my strategy. I think maybe they talked about this in the video. If you don't understand up until this point, go back and watch. Ask me questions. I can help you. But this is kind of a next step to this part of the strategy. So let's just say that this is where the future, like the price is. We see this red push down. That's not a great example. let me find you something a little different. I want to find something good for you guys. Boom, right here. So you see this big red push right here. Starts up around here. A lot of big red pushes. Now, you know what I said at the beginning? I want to see the big red ones. If it's a huge push like this, and they're not quite as big at the beginning, that's okay. If there's less duration or less of a distance of push, then we want the bigger ones towards the beginning, if that makes sense. So here, big push. So your initial thoughts, let's capture this green one. Let's get it in the box. Boom. That's what we're waiting on. That's right. It is right. 100%. That is our strategy. But you see this little green guy just chilling right here. Now you might be thinking, okay, well that defeats the whole purpose of the whole push. You might be thinking like that's a void. That's not. That's actually really, really good. When we see this, what we do is we just go like this. This is where our new box lies. Because what happened was they tried to push. There's people in there that are trying to go in either direction, like when they're buying this or selling it. So it needs to come in, and get pushed. Boom. Look it. If we go all the way back here, these both actually get filled. Both of these plays work out. But sometimes the top play doesn't work out, and sometimes the bottom one does. But if we look, it's a long time frame, but look. Comes in, comes out a little bit, in and out, in and out. But at the end of the day, it goes in, it comes out, and you make your money. Same thing here. It went in, comes out. It's a little scarier because it comes out, goes back in, comes out. But that's besides the point. Learn how to chart. That's the biggest thing. Learn how to chart. Watch these things. Let me pull up gold real quick so we can just kind of go through this real quick. We'll finish up the video. Hopefully this helped you guys just a little bit. If it did, just a little bit, then that's good for me because I wish I had somebody to help me just a little bit. So right here, you can kind of actually see this is something that failed, but this was actually something I was like considering, like this is something I wanted. So I saw this green push here. So originally I put my red bar here, but then I saw it had that little red here. So push, push, push. Stalled out, no direct drops here, a little bit, nothing crazy. So actually, if I really wanted to, this is something that I could get in because look, it didn't get complete. It went out of the box, but didn't fill out of the box. Like it's not a solid out of the box. If I wanted to, I could get in this, but since it's kind of that 50-50, I'm gonna stay away from it. To me, it's not worth it. It's too risky. But there's a 100% chance you can make money. No, I shouldn't say it like that. There is definitely a chance that you can make money. But for me, it's not worth losing the money opposed to kind of, I don't want to say gambling, but potentially losing this. You can see right there, boom. If I got in, when I say about here, that's already that's over $200 right there that you could have made. But I'm trying to be smart. I'm trying to take good plays. So what I want you guys to do, just go back and chart. Try to figure it out. Try to chart. Watch this video. Watch the other 2 videos I sent you guys. And just chart. Ask questions. Boom. Look at this. It's a lot easier to see it when you're going back. That's why I say to chart it out. Where did I just say it? Right here. Just try to find stupid things. Look. It's not the perfect, but it's pretty solid. It's smaller than it. So I'm going to box it in. And look. Nothing. Nothing happens. It didn't press here. It pushed through. See how these close back? Boom. I don't like that. But you're in the right for drawing it. It's just it didn't work out. That's a good draw. So what is our criteria for when we see something? Boom. Step 1. Big push. Where is the big push? Right here. Boom. Found it. Step 2. Is my red bar or my bar the opposite color of the push? Is it bigger than my green bar? Here? No, I wouldn't say so. Might be similar, but it's not. It's not the same size. So boom, I like that. And step 3. Is it longer here? At the bottom. Yeah, that's longer. A++. Now remember what I said. If it's not longer, it doesn't 100% matter. Draw it out, engulf your whole opposite color bar. After that, draw it out the full length. Boom. We see right here, it's super, super close. Sometimes you can get in that, sometimes you won't. Draw your box all the way out. You watch what happens. Look how it came directly down. Don't love it. That moves me from an A plus to an A. A plus plus to an A. It's still not bad. Honestly, probably a B. Like, it's not a bad trade, but it's not exactly what we're looking for. But for you guys' sake, not terrible for charting reasons. So we know that. Draw it out and just look. You got to know the steps. That's the most important. I know this is a long video. If you can't watch the whole thing, my bad. I wish I kind of made it shorter. I'll make another video whenever. You guys just let me know. Tell me when you watch it. If you need any other help, let me know. Watch the video. Skim through it. Whatever you need. All right? I'll talk to you guys later.